What's up, skating fans? Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to do our very first GSN preview show, and this is quite the show. We have the Inline World Championships coming up in Italy, and we also got quite the lineup here to help me introduce you to not just the event, but all the skaters that will be there. First off, we got Tanner Worley and Josh Whyte here next to me. Both of you guys, as well as myself, have been to Inline World Championships before, despite the fact that we're currently racing on ice, chasing the 2026 Winter Olympics. First, let's hear a little bit about you guys. Tanner Worley?
Oh, I'm Tanner Worley. I've been to Worlds from 2012 to 2019, now pursuing my ice dreams in order to make the Olympics here in 2026 and see where it takes me from there.
All right, Josh?
And I'm Josh Whyte. I'm from New Zealand and I've been to Worlds. My first one was Korea, 2011. And then I've been to 7 since then. And then, also now as well, trying to compete on ice and see where that takes me.
That is quite a few. For those of you that don't know me already, I'm Viktor Thorup. I'm host of the GSN channel. I have only been to 2 Inline World Championships, so I'm glad to have you guys here with me today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you guys there. I think it's gonna be very much Aaron versus Colombia in the sprints. And for the distance, I think the same, the Colombians, and I would put Gabriela in there as well from Ecuador. And then just based on how superior the French women were at Europeans, like that whole team there, I would be impressed, or I wouldn't be. Before we dive into the skaters, into the track itself, what exactly is an Inline Skating World Championships?
Inline Skating World Championships is the highest level that you can obtain year by year in inline speed skating. They also have Pan Am Games, which is every 4 years for sports that aren't in the Olympics, but this is like the alpha of the sport. This is what you train all year for in order to prepare to be able to wear the world champion stripes for the race that you may win. What comes with it is multiple races ranging from sprints to distances even to the long races like marathons. Not my forte, but But what I can take from that is you go there and you get to experience, like I said, the highest level of skating from every country. Everyone's bringing their top skaters. For the U.S., it's like the top 24, 6 in each division. For you guys, it might be a little different, but we usually take, like I said, 6 athletes, junior men, junior ladies, senior men, senior women.
Now you mentioned a bit about that. How many skaters can race in each event from each country?
Only 2.
Okay, so it is quite the exclusive thing, so it is really the best of the best.
For sure.
Now, if we dive into this specific event, where is it going to be held this year?
In Italy, in Vicenza, Montecchio Maggiore.
I can only imagine that's how the Italian would say it too. How would you say that, Tanner?
I'm glad he didn't even ask me. I don't even want to try to attempt, but what Josh did, yeah.
I'm sure that's right. One thing we do know is that there's going to be races on a track and there's going to be races on a road circuit. Those can be different, or they are different year by year, depending on where it's held. And what are they like this year?
Yeah, so as Vic said, the track changes every year. This year, always on a 200 meter the track, and this year it's a little bit parabolic. From what I've heard, it's extremely narrow, which is going to make racing really tough. Sprinters are going to be out on the wall, and long distance, there's going to be a big pack and hard to pass.
So who would that favor in terms of like what skaters, what countries would be happy about this? Who would be slightly less happy about it?
Definitely more technical track. The big power guys, they're going to struggle to get around the corner. Especially, it's been up close to 40 degrees every day. Makes it really slippery too.
That is brutal. And slippery and also tough finish.
I would say I'm excited to see it back on a parabolic track. I feel like it brings more racing. It brings more excitement to the racing. There's more passing lanes. It's not just about who's the strongest guy and who can control the race. It's about strategy. Now you're bringing back in who can actually race. And it's not, like I said, not about just being who's the strongest and who can control from the front. So I'm hoping that it stays parabolic and we get rid of the flat track just because the racing is more exciting, especially for the people that have never seen it before. You know, the newcomers on the team that might have made it, from the U.S., not being able to go overseas as much and being able to see it at, like I said, the highest level. For sure this year is going to be exciting.
That is true. That is a thing we sadly see more and more of with bigger wheels, faster racing. It becomes tougher to pass, especially in the elimination races. We have seen teams take the lead from the beginning, and then because it is such an effort to pass, where here we got more trajectories that are almost equally fast. So that'll be quite expected.
Yeah. European Championships was held this year on a parabolic track also in France. And there was a lot of crazy passing there too.
Beautiful passing. You get to see guys up at the taking the snake line, I say, or taking the shortcut. The guys using the dish, being able to come by, flying by these guys. Like, that's the type of racing that I want to see, and I feel like that's what's going to push us forward to be able to maybe become an Olympic sport one day.
Now, you talked about a bit European Championships. We've already seen some races this year. There's some pretty tough or high-level European Cups. Who are we going to have to look for? If we start out with the sprinters, who would you say are the names to watch out for here?
Sprinter, Colombia, they're always good.
Yeah, it's a given.
Chile, the Europeans, you've got the Italians, you've got the French, super strong.
Yeah, I'm definitely calling it now. Duccio Marsili's going to win something this year. I don't know what it's going to be, but I've seen this guy basically get it out of the mud. I skated with him when I lived in Italy, and he was on the up and coming. And then just now, he's just been taking over the inline world, in my opinion, in all levels. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. Elton de Souza for sure. Like he said, the Colombians, couple Spanish guys that might be out there too. But I'm really rooting for Duccio this year.
I was thinking, excited, we were just talking about both the track and the road circuits are going to be very technical. There's going to be some narrow turns, it's going to be slippery. He's got the perfect body type for this kind of running. He's light and he is explosive.
And it's his home country, so it's only right.
Yeah. Now, the road is, just to get that in there, is also very technical.
Yeah, 329 meters, brand new asphalt.
It's basically a track.
Yeah.
Basically a track. Yeah, you got the one lap on the road that's going to be over in about 30 seconds. It's going to favor the guys with a quick start.
For sure. It's crazy that we brought the one lap in. Back then it used to be 500 meters or a certain distance, and I remember in China, I think we were like 860 meters for a one lap. So to see it at 329 is like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's gonna be some quick guys that are really happy about that. All right, if we gotta pick a skater each for the sprint, a skater for the distance, Tanner, who would you go for?
Definitely, like I said, Duccio. And then senior men wise, let's start with that. Duccio for the sprints or Elton. For the long distance, I'm looking for Timothy from France.
He was impressive at European Championships.
That's why I was saying he was really impressive, and I feel like there's been times every year that something is in his way of winning a world title. If we go back to 2016, 2017, he basically won the race and got disqualified. So I'm really rooting for him.
And he's got the team for it. I mean, the French team could have
exactly
a handful of people.
Nolan, all those guys, they work together. That's the best thing about it. Like, if you really watch those French guys, those Colombian guys, those Italian guys, what you can take from that is, if you're a guy like from the U.S. or something like that, you can take race strategy and see how they work as a team. Yeah. For instance, Peter Michael did it for so many years by himself, but he got the respect from everybody else. Why? Because he was so dominant. Mm-hmm. And going out there and being new to the sport or new to inline racing outside, I would just be on the lookout for those type of guys for sure.
All right, Josh?
Me? Well, senior man on the sprint. I'd love to see my teammate Ivan from France win as well. I think Duccio's got a really good shot. And then long distance, it's Bart's first Worlds back after, I think, 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be dominant. Yeah. I'd also love to see my teammates do well. Your countryman,
think about Bart.
Stefan.
I'm rooting for the Danes.
Livia from Switzerland.
Yeah. So, these are people you've been training with, racing with for a long time. Where do you see them right now?
They got a good shot. Anything can happen in senior men if you get a lucky break or something.
Yeah, especially the point races.
But you've got the Colombians, you've got Bart and Jason. They have such depth in their teams that they can, like Tanner said, they can work together and chase people down.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, now that you bring it up, I definitely didn't think Bart was there, but that's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He can do it by himself, and then having Jason out there, you've seen them go 1 and 2 in all these races at the European Cup, so I'm just ready to watch.
And for me, for distance-wise, I don't know which one of them, but I would say the Belgians, because if you look at the level of those two, I think it's hard to find anything equal to that. The one thing I would be concerned about is that Bart has been away from the racing. Like, he's raced a few races, but nothing compared to the French, the Italians that basically race on a weekly basis.
Right.
And now we talked about how technical these are going to be, and I don't think we're going to see Bart be as superior as we've seen him in the Berlin Marathon, where, like, if you're the strongest man, he's proven that 10 times. Then you just race away on his own and then beat the rest of the world by minutes, literally. So I think it's going to be close, but I would still also, one of the Belgians, I'm not sure which one. And then for the sprints, I do also think Ducho even might be a little too heavy for some of this.
Track, yeah.
That's the one
Ducho
thing.
at World Games in Birmingham, super technical track, and he dominated.
Yeah.
Man, what? That was a difficult
Yeah.
track. I've never seen nothing like it before.
Almost opposite banking on that one.
For sure.
Yeah, then you've also got the Chileans. Big outside shot.
That is true.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. Then if we talk about the women, who do we see as the strong names that we would want to watch here?
For the sprints, I would like to see Erin go out there and do her thing again. It was awesome to see. Just to give a little backstory, Erin won in 2014.
Erin Jackson.
Yes, Erin Jackson won in 2014, and I'm on the sidelines. I'm going crazy for her. We have no flag prepared. No flag prepared to give her. So I got this little scarf. It has the American flag on. I'm trying to give it to her. She looks at me like I'm crazy. So hopefully, this year she can go back and reclaim her title. If it's not even just on the road, maybe on the track too. She says she's feeling more confident on her skates this year than she was last year. So we'll see how that goes for the sprint wise. For the distance, it's got to be Fabriana from Colombia. She's just so dominant. She's so technical, and her crossing is just absurd. Like, I don't see too many ladies that can match that type of tempo and still keep going with the legs needed to finish the race. So I would say her for sure in the distance.
And she will. I mean, we don't know which one of the Colombians they're gonna be her teammate, but I'm pretty certain.
Luz is there. I think. No.
Gabriela Roeo.
Okay.
And Joanna Luvia.
Yep. Any one of those can win. That's just how it is. They're so dominant. They train hard, and So I would say any of those ladies for sure.
All right.
Yeah. So for me, the distance girls too. I'm gonna have to say Larissa from Germany. But no, the Colombians are super strong. There's a lot of outside shots with like the Germans, and then you have Gabriela Vargas from Ecuador. She's super strong too. It's a lot of the Asian countries with Asian Games this year. They're not sending their top girls or top in anything, so it might open the field up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But and the sprints as well. Colombia, Erin. I'd love to see Erin
for
come
sure
back, win another world champ.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you guys there. I think it's gonna be very much Erin versus Colombia in the sprints, and for the distance, I think the same. The Colombians, and I would put Gabriela in there as well from Ecuador. And then just based on how superior the French women were at Europeans, like that whole team there, I'd be impressed, or I wouldn't be impressed. I would be surprised if we don't see Marine Lefebvre on a podium or two, as well as a few of the other French girls.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see a mixed up finals again in the one lap. I think last year was Spain, Guatemala, Colombia, and I think there was one other in the final too. So
that's definitely in inline skating's favor if we're looking towards becoming Olympic one day.
Yeah, for sure. Who is the French girl sprinter? She skates for Bonn. I can't think of her name.
Marine Ballandron.
Is that her? Yeah, I'm
No, she's Bonn too.
I don't know, but I can't think of her name.
If you do remember, leave it in the comments below.
Please do, because I'm putting her up there too, for sure. I've seen her train all year. She was really dominant at the European Championships this year, so I got to give credit where credit is due.
And then on a last final note here, there might be, or probably is, a lot of skaters that are going to do really well that we didn't think of here. If you leave their name in the comment section below, somebody that you think will become a world champion here within the next few weeks, you will be able to win a GSN t-shirt. We're going to pick one winner amongst all those names, or the names you mentioned out there, and a t-shirt just like that, or this one is going to be yours. And then also a last little teaser, we're going to cover the Inline World Championships, but also the entire ice skating season in the coming months, and hopefully we're going to have these guys here as part of that team.
Hope so.
Cool.
All there's left to say is thank you, Tanner, Josh, for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks to all of you guys for coming along for this, and then stay tuned here in GSN where we're gonna share everything there is basically in the world of skating.
Cool.